And I get a she-shed. Alright, are we recording? We are recording! Welcome everyone to downtime. It has been 8 days since our last adventure. And what have you been up to?
Now that I have a little bit of money.
And
Just got really
Sarah.
quiet.
don't cover your microphone.
Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I have a little bit of money, I'm going to go get some clothes that actually fit me.
Okay.
Get some writing supplies so I can start learning how to write.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Alright, so the clothes would probably not cost you more than a silver, and roughly the same for the writing supplies. Do keep in mind that since it's been a week, you all got paid.
Do we have to do, like, are we actually working for our pay? Like, do we have to take shifts guarding?
Yeah,
Like, how
so
does...
you're sort of having shifts guarding and sort of going on trips if he needs them. But for the most part, it's shifts guarding, and then every once in a while, if someone needs you to lift heavy objects, some of you are called upon to do that.
So that's
So how
21 gold.
much... Yeah, I think 21 gold.
How much money do we get? I forgot.
It
So
was...
how
4
much of
gold
our
a
time
day.
is spent... Like,
with,
what percent of our time is spent in his employ? In Darthor's
you
employ.
received 21 gold.
Total?
For the week, yeah.
For the week.
After
Per
our
person.
living expenses.
Person?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
After the room and board.
Yeah.
Guys, we're so...
So after room and board, and Michael, you can just add that to your sheet, if you want.
We've just been like, hey, here's our friend. We hired him.
No, we're getting there. I'm just addressing this issue now so that he doesn't feel completely left out.
So how much again?
21 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's guarding. It's not necessarily 8 hours a day because time is not quite that standardized here, to the shock of many. But...
Wait, what? Got regimented to the second?
What?
The bureaucracy is silly.
Yes, exactly. This is what I'm saying. The shock of many. And so you might just be doing 2 hours one day. You might be staying up for a 6-hour watch the next night. And it's not horribly unscheduled, but it's also not necessarily like all day, all waking hours you are working.
Yeah. There's time to do some downtime stuff.
Yes.
Other than that. Okay.
You have correctly interpreted my statement. Okay, so Agate has bought clothes and writing things, and you should be able to find that relatively quickly. What kind of clothes are you looking for?
No perception on like what makes good clothes. So like I went into a shop and I'm like, what I'm wearing now, except it fits me.
The sales lady is kind of, like grandmotherly would be the best term. You may not have had a grandmother, but if anyone was with you and they thought of grandmothers, or they knew grandmothers, this is what that person would look like. She sort of looks at you and clucks and goes, "Oh, you poor dear, you've had a growth spurt. Well, just step in here and we'll get you measured to figure out what would work and see what sort of materials you like, I suppose. And then we'll just get these to fit you properly." So she sort of bustles and she's like standing there waiting for you to get undressed. Like there's a little curtain for you to hide behind, which is just sort of like, "All right, get ready. Go."
Okay. I do that.
All right. She sort of clucks at seeing how skinny you are. "Where's your mother?"
She's at home. She's making me dinner right now.
All right. That makes no sense, but Roll a persuasion check, please.
Not a deception check?
A deception check, yes.
Alright.
Why doesn't that make sense?
Is no one chaperoning this child?
Do you know how outgrown these clothes are? It's agate. Right?
What?
How outgrown were these clothes?
Well, it's not that they were outgrown, it's that they were, like, way too big for me and made for an adult.
Oh, I thought they were too small.
They're out.
But yes, your mother is probably making. She sort of like nods, and it's almost like it's not necessarily that she thinks you're lying. She just kind of thinks you're hiding or like trying to do some kind of surprise. Like she's just like, okay, and measures you for what you need. The writing utensils you find relatively quickly.
Okay.
You get a chalk and a tablet, because that probably makes most sense, unless you want
Oh, that
actual
sounds great.
parchment. Okay. So yeah.
I'm gonna bother Jamra about teaching me how to write and read.
Okay.
I can also, I believe at some point I was like, yes, I'd help you learn to write and read.
or you can help me.
So I'll definitely spend part of my downtime with that. Also, I think your time it is better for your moral well-being to spend time with me than Jabra.
Actually, I was gonna comment on that. So I will like help me some of the time, but I prefer to spend my time with Jamra. Or let her.
Wow.
Oh yeah, native outsiders unite.
Why is that?
Hey, is that? Do
Yeah,
you not remember last episode?
that's fair.
I wasn't really ever annoyed at you, though. I was arguing with Jack, and I just,
No, but I was annoyed at you.
that's,
Yeah, Agate has opinions.
Little.
That's
I have
amazing.
feelings.
There's a lot there.
Oh my goodness.
That was a good argument.
It was very good.
It
That
So
was-
frustrating.
yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Why?
You know, I was frustrated in and out of character.
Yeah. You didn't show it in character though.
Oh.
Okay. I lied because it seemed not that the D&D economy is any good, but let's actually just say 5 silver pieces for everything you needed. Because I looked it up and clothes seem slightly. I reserve the right to change this one more time. One
The
gold
5e
piece.
economy does not deserve the name.
Yes, but the
Nice.
resident economist didn't fix it yet, so.
Do you want me to fix it? I actually have already fixed it.
So did you?
I have a book. I have a book that was a complete price chart. If you would like it.
That sounds
Sure. Does one gold piece for common clothes right now and a writing tablet sound good to you?
Give me a minute to look it up.
Is this
I
a thing
haven't-
that you
I don't
could
have
give
the
us a
book in
link
front
to?
of me.
What is this? I want to see this.
Sure. Give me a minute. I was just finishing this thing.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Sarah, for actual costs. I'm sorry. You're haggling so well. It's just going up and up and up.
100 gold.
Facts. Alright. Orentha, since you're probably not teaching Agate how to read, what have you been up to the past week?
Probably. I would like to try and get some magic items.
Okay.
if possible.
What are you looking for?
Healing potion, and then maybe something that can give me an AC boost, but I doubt I can afford it. because I know what that shit costs, and I have 84 gold.
Well,
You can barely afford a healing potion.
I can afford a tiny one.
alright, let's see. I feel like a healing potion should be relatively fine to find.
50 gold pieces is
Yeah,
the standard
50.
price for a healing potion.
I know,
For
but you might get a
simplicity.
better cost on it. So do you want to look for the healing potion first, or the...
Oh.
I would.
If you choose to spend the whole week, yeah.
Do you want to spend a week looking for it? Like getting the best price? And just get it for 50 gold. The first place you find.
I think she would just go to the first
Get
place she
a
finds.
healing squirrel.
A healing squirrel. Awful.
Incredible.
So
Does the
you-
taxidermist have any more creepy animals that can help
You
me?
head back to the bushy tail. And when Butter sees you come in, she goes, "Welcome!"
Butter? The name is Butter?
Mm-hmm.
Water.
I don't think I got that before.
Interesting.
I love it.
Says, "The spiders have still not yet hatched." It's been like a day at this point when you walk. She says, "Spiders have still not yet hatched.
Oh, thank you for
It
the
is
update.
fine. I will keep you updated."
Just like keep a water near them or something. Or fire.
Of course. Of course. Trust me, I have this figured out. I've done this many times. What can I help you with?
Sure. I would like to. I'm in the market for some magic items if you have them. Interested in healing potions, things to protect me and my companions, that sort of thing. Also, that creepy stuffed chipmunk was amazing. So if you have anything in the vein of that, that would be.
It's alive now. I'm not there, but
She sort of thinks for a second.
Maybe a singing bass on a.
What
on a
kind of
plaque.
food do you eat?
All kinds?
Are you good about choking things down if you don't like them? Or
Sure.
persuasion check, unless it's deception.
What am I persuading her for?
You're trying to convince her, or she's trying to ascertain how disgusting of a potion she can give you.
Oh. I have drank many a terrible thing in my time. Persuasion. Oh, natural 19.
Strong stomach. She sort of flips up the little wooden board that separates her side of the store from you and starts walking through the shelves. And you see the chipmunks that have been frozen and the raccoons on the side. And she sort of walks past all of them and gets to the wall with the vials, which have little stoppers on them that look like little bushy tails. And she sort of points to one and says, it's not like, you know, the healing potion that's like sort of this bulbous thing. It's really just more of a vial that's meant to be placed inside your pocket. And this one has a very pom-pom-like tail. She said, "This is baby rabbit blood. And will restore a reasonable amount of health, but it can be yours for only 50 gold. We have more palatable ones that are slightly more expensive."
Need to find a reasonable amount of health.
For you or for Orentha?
Orentha.
Well, let me put it this way. It will heal a rather deep scratch almost as soon as you swallow it. And deep scratches, as you know, can get infected, so it helps fight off that infection. It won't help fight off poison. That's over there. And she points to the vials that seem to have, like, reptile tails coming out of them.
What about potions that help with abilities like climbing up walls? Spider climb.
She sort of thinks for a second. For that, it's more helpful to have the more physical components. They're not quite as liquid. We try to blend things up, but they usually end up being chunks. But that's over there. And she sort of takes you to Jack with the economy.
To what? What's she looking for?
Climbing potion.
Spider climb.
It's probably a common potion. All the common potions per the DMG cost 50 gold.
Okay, that's what I figured. But yes,
What
relatively
race is
speaking,
Butter?
What?
What race is Butter?
In my head, she is a giant squirrel.
A giant squirrel?
Yes, I forgot to figure out the actual D&D race. So let's just go with Tabaxi, because that's closer to giant squirrel than anything else we have
Go
so
with
far.
giant squirrel.
Okay, she's a giant squirrel.
And then it's really creepy.
This is more terrifying.
Hang on, the shopkeeper's a giant squirrel?
Yeah.
And she stuffs her kin.
Huh. That makes all of this way worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike has no idea what he's gotten into.
Like,
It's a bureaucratic necromantic society where magic lives in rodent bodies. Not really. We're not quite sure how the magic works yet.
I
Bread.
really wish I didn't give away 10 gold last game like an idiot. Let me tell you what. How about I take both the healing, the baby rabbit's blood, and the chewy climbing potion together for 75 gold.
Oh dear.
Considering what a great relationship we have and the eggs that you currently have that we provided at a discounted rate, considering what you will make off of them.
She sort of reaches into her pocket and grabs something out and starts like sort of eating them from her hand. They look like nuts. She goes,
And I like
I destroyed a quarter of I have to destroy a quarter of a phase spider egg sac later.
What?
Ah,
Well, she said she was
If I-
gonna she was gonna handle it, not like she's in. Otherwise, she would have left him alone.
Oh, that's fair.
No.
how
My
mu- you
point was
guys-
that
because
my point
Sarah
was that
next
she
year-
is commenting that you have caused her inconvenience.
I also gave her 3/4 of an egg sac.
But you didn't.
Oh, we gave her a whole egg sack.
And she's gonna destroy your quarter.
Except that she can't because a quarter of them are just gonna vanish.
That's her
That's
point.
fair.
That she has to now deal with the quarter that is vanished, as opposed to just letting it vanish and not worrying about it. That's what I assumed that she meant. You've held her to environmental standards.
Good.
And 3/4 of an egg sac is still more than
What?
before.
If they're not escaping, it's not a problem.
Cyrenexia, where are you?
I'm not there. I'm
Just checking. For my
Yeah.
sanity.
no. I'm probably not coming back to that store anytime soon.
I didn't know I was gonna end up here. I forgot it was the same place.
But
So, 75 gold. I will also throw in this custom beer.
roll a persuasion check for that.
Oh no!
Beer. I don't drink, dear.
Really? Okay. Well, it would sell for a lot of money. We sell it for 15 gold up in the mountains. It is handmade. by the finest of monks. And that is truthful.
That is truthful.
Yes.
Okay. For 15 gold, you sold this beer?
Nope.
Well, roll the check that it is accurate to roll.
Oh, God.
At least you don't have disadvantage. She sort of nods slowly. I see. Well, how about you go sell it, and then you can come back, and we can talk.
Okay, look. How about I give you the beer and 45 gold for the healing potion?
This sounds reasonable.
Okay.
How about you go sell the beer, and just give me 45 gold for the healing potion?
Okay, that's fine.
It's generous.
45 gold.
Yeah, but
I'm guessing
Arantha
it's a-
gets out of there.
Yeah.
She picks
I'm
up the
guessing
little
it's a
vial.
minor healing potion.
It is a common healing potion.
Okay.
It is a bunny tail rabbit healing potion.
Ugh. Okay. And then I will spend the rest of my week on the coolest rooftop I can find, meditating.
Does that
Pausing
gain
it.
you anything, or?
No, I'm tying it in with my level up to 3 and getting my subclass.
The
Sounds
peace
good.
of mind.
Peace of mind, trying my hardest.
Meditating while drinking lots of alcohol.
Yeah,
If it works, it works.
the way of the drunken.
Alright, have we figured out how much Sarah's things cost?
If they're just normal clothes,
Mm-hmm.
then they would be on the order. Like if she's getting a full set of normal clothes, they may order a couple silver pieces.
Okay.
I think it's about what it was.
You pay a gold, and you get all the things your heart could desire. Within reason. Cyrenexia, you are to some... Jamra and Cyrenexia are technically fighting over Agate's teaching duties. Unless Jamra refuses
I'm not
to fight.
really fighting.
Sure.
I don't.
If she comes and asks me, I will set out some extra. I will write down in very nice sort of. I will use some of my writing set, to get some use out of that tool proficiency, and I will write a lovely sort of set of practice letters, and I will set her some exercises.
Okay.
What would you teach me, Cyrenixia?
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear what you said, Sarah.
Oh, I said, what is your teaching strategy?
I mean, I don't think I'm particularly good at it. I probably, like, you had mentioned that you wanted to be taught teaching, so I would approach you and be like, hey, you want, like, I am available for teaching you writing things.
Okay, I imagine that you'd like make me write "I will not steal stuff" 15 times, and that's the only way
I
you
was
teach.
I was thinking, like, going through with the, like, the words for the, Code of Argentax, that sort of thing.
You shall learn from the Bible.
Exactly.
Agate's going to Sunday school.
Don't diss it.
I have
Some
posted
horrible
the
people went to
Discerning
Sunday
Merchant's
school.
price guide in the Discord.
Okay, thank you.
Primarily magic item based, but for non-magic items, I can provide alternative sources.
Okay. We will go with that for now. They used to have one about learning, and I can't find it right now. Training, there we go. um... What's your intelligence modifier, Agate? what's your intelligence level?
His intelligence modifier,
The
a
smaller
little
number.
next to intelligence.
It is a 2.
Okay, yeah, it's a
It's a
2. That's what I
+2.
said.
Okay.
That's quite good,
Smarter
actually.
than me.
Plus
I'm a -1.
I thought this was an extensive joke about low intelligence. But no, that's quite good.
Okay. So it'll take you about 8 weeks total to learn to read and write.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I imagine in the course of the 10 days, like,
I mean, it does say learning a new language. Since she already speaks the language, it may go faster.
Okay. Define the complexity of common in relation to English.
Simpler. Common is a trade tongue.
Okay. Cool. So 5 weeks then. Let's just cut, which would be 4. So let's just do 4 weeks, roughly, and you've done 10 days of that.
okay, sounds good.
Awesome. All right, Jumro, what were you up to?
I
Oh
think
no,
what?
I'm scared.
The first thing that he would do would be fairly simple.
Okay.
In that he would go and speak to, probably while he was initially laying out some of those suggested like lines to write.
Okay.
He would ask, Agate, do you? I think I would like very much to have a little friend like you do. Could you help me get one?
I would. I don't know. I don't know how I got it. I think the lady at the store made it live. I'm not super sure.
Oh, I don't think I could get one that is quite so special as yours, but
Just like a pet.
someone, yeah, something like that. But I do not require much from you. Just a hope, a desire, a wish.
I wish that you had a really cool pet.
Thank you, Agate.
Oh well.
And shooting out from from his sleeves, which there was certainly nothing up there before, is his new familiar as he casts Find Familiar.
Is a what?
Is his new familiar as he casts Find Familiar using
I thought
the
you gave
wish
us the species for a second.
species. I don't.
The
Okay.
species is it an owl,
Oh, the
a frog, or a
species.
cat?
I think he would take an. I think he would take a hawk.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Imagine immediately the hawk starts eyeing my chipmunk. No.
Hello. What is your name?
Can you
Ah,
tell me
nice
not to eat my chipmunk?
Oh, of course. He does not require sustenance anyway. Do not harm the chipmunk. He is beloved of my good friend.
So
The hawk sort of ruffles its feathers.
does my chipmunk not require sustenance? Because I've been feeding him a lot of food.
I don't know. I don't know what our friend at the taxidermist did, but perhaps I know that my friend here is he's not strictly speaking he's not like a mortal creature. He is an outsider in this shape.
I look at the chipmunk and be like, "What did you do with the food?"
Are you asking to get the food out?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Jumbo, roughly how many days into downtime is this?
I think this is the first day, probably.
Okay, so every tiny bit of food you have given this chipmunk over the past 3 days starts sort of dripping out. Like just boom.
Isn't it like 8 cubic feet?
Oh my god.
I don't think
I
she
mean-
had 8 cubic feet to fit.
No,
Who's feeding
but
them
it's been a lot.
lot?
It's a lot of food.
She doesn't have that much food on her.
I've been feeding this chipmunk everything its heart desires for the last couple days. I thought it was really hungry.
At least
The
there's no
meat
air
that
in
went
there.
in there first does not smell the greatest.
Just like
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
The hawk suddenly looks very intrigued by what has just happened.
I'm very confused and covered in chipmunk vomit.
In your new clothes.
Oh.
Oh. Maybe do not eat it quite so often.
Wait, it didn't eat the food.
I think it did. I think it put it in its storage space. I just wanted to make you happy, I suspect.
Okay, well, it was good. You did a very, very good job. It's my fault, really. And I like throw the steak on my shirt to the hawk.
The hawk sort of, yeah, exactly.
It snaps out. There's the bird thing where it throws its head back to swallow it.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so you have a pet. What next?
And now with my new bird in tow, I would like to try to spend the week, trying to develop my business and working and trying to make connections. I've been going down to the docks and I've talked to those people, and I would like to start buying and trying to buy and sell in minor goods now that I have a larger sort of quantity, and take the work downtime action if I can.
Okay. Go ahead and
Okay.
hold up. Let me get there really quickly. So, that would probably be a charisma check, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So charisma persuasion because it's like trying to
Yeah.
negotiate. Or...
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, 18.
What is a comfortable lifestyle for the week?
1 gold per week. I think.
No. It is
No?
2 gold per day.
That's
and since
right.
we already have a lifestyle, I can
You
just
get all of that.
all
for
that
yourself.
because we already have our upkeep money
Yeah, great.
from the dude. So 14 gold.
Fantastic.
And that's in the. You said we had 10 days.
Yes.
Okay.
So it turns out to be 20, I think. Or unless you're just working for a week.
I'll just do the 20 then. That's fine.
No, it's totally fine. Like, I don't...
No, there's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing substantial that I would do in that next 3 days.
Okay, and then we can just talk about later what sort of goods you're getting into and where you're looking.
Yeah.
Though
I
a
think
hint
right
now
now
would be
he's
good.
just being very opportunistic. So it's
Okay,
whatever
so anything
is.
anyone is selling.
Yeah, I think it's whatever seems like it's like anything that he thinks he can move quickly and is low initial buy-in cost. Right now, he's mostly doing it so he can develop a bit of a relationship with some of these suppliers and try to get to the point where he is not just respectable for respectable in the city, but has like a good reputation with tradesmen.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
And what are you doing about the fact that Jambis Dartheur sells rooftop crops?
Jambis Dartheur does what?
So the person who has hired you sells rooftop crops. Are you just sort of avoiding that area altogether?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't step on his feet. I feel like I feel like number one, I didn't realize he was doing that as a mercantile endeavor as opposed to a personal one.
Okay.
But if he is, then that's fine. I would just stay out of that because it seems like that would primarily be grown locally to sell to local people.
Yes.
And I'm more interested in the sort of the import export.
Okay. Sounds good. And I think that
The only
leaves
thing I
you.
would buy up that is local is lumber.
Okay.
I'm very interested in developing strong lumber connections.
Okay. Good to know. So we'll figure out the logistics of that.
Yep.
All right. Cyrenixia, anything?
I kind of want to do some research to see if I can find any. I don't want to spend money on it, which is going to be not helpful. Like I want, so see if Jam if Dartheur can help if he has any connections to some sort of library or people that would help me get research done for less money than 50 gold pieces for the week. That seems ridiculously high. Anyway, and I want to see if I can find out anything about like evil things or like like magical artifacts of note in this general area.
Okay, so the first thing that happens when you ask Jambis this is that he sort of rubs his chin and goes, "You'd be best off talking to one of the ink-stained about that. My secretary can certainly help with getting you connections. But I am a merchant. I do not deal with libraries." The secretary, on the other hand, sort of asks curiously, like, what you're interested in looking into.
Sources of evil or artifacts, things that should be protected or made or may cause problems in the future.
And are you trying to look like you definitely... So basically, the secretary sort of looks at you and his eyebrows go straight up. He's like, what are you planning on using that knowledge for?
To vanquish the evil and find safe and protected lands, safe and protected locations to keep any dangerous artifacts out of the wrong hands.
Roll a persuasion check.
It is the duty of a Knight of Argentine to keep the world safe of such hazards. Persuasion.
Alright. She gives you instructions for a library in Pemulp. It is rather small, but it does have the equivalent of some children's books on evil. And the big bad things that will come to get you. There are some slightly more helpful texts about the history of magic in Gravira, but nothing extraordinarily in depth and nothing to the degree that you're really looking for. Though you do start getting some idea of the background of this place.
That I will presumably can get later at some point.
Yes.
Oh, cool. So I'd like to spend some of my time doing that. And
Okay.
I mean, if there's only like 3 books, I don't know. Oh, I don't know how thoroughly I read them. But also just keep an eye and understanding sort of the structure of the guard
Sorry.
and the hierarchy of that in Darthur's household, and also just around what I can gather, what sort of like disciplinary structure and training, anything like that I can just pick up
In the
over the
house?
course of the 10 days. In the house, also like how the tranquil, learning sort of more about how the structure of the tranquil guard as well,
Okay.
and yeah.
So the structure of the Tranquil Guard seems to be sort of regional offices dedicated to sort of policing and being around the area. And depending on the size and the affluence of the area, they're larger. Things are organized in squads. There's the cleanup crew, which sort of deals with the non-human issues, or non-human, like non-people issues. And that's what you used to be. And then there become squads that deal with things like pickpockets, etc. It's not that they're specialized, it's just sort of more that there are small groups that work together as teams throughout, and then they're coordinated by someone on top who coordinates with others within the district, and each of them sort of has a central location in that district, and then so on throughout Gravira. And you do find out that there is one larger group that mostly deals with things outside of the walls, and that generally seems to have much more spiffy uniforms, a higher rate of pay, and is just in general more respected. And
Okay.
people will sort of get out of their way if they want to go somewhere.
What sorts of things are needing dealt with outside of the wall?
So there are, for instance, like people who go out to the woods further out. Let me see if we still have that map here. Okay, let's just go in here. Oh, so right where the character, which I don't recognize, is.
Me?
Is
The
it?
one that's moving? That's the one that you said is my avatar to start with.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get rid of that one. I don't remember these things. So sort of right outside Guavira, about here. Really right outside, there's a forest, and so some people will go out with guards and get lumber. Jambra would have found out about part of this. There's also some lumber coming in from outside, but it seems like the sort of non-building lumber, anything they really need sort of immediately in the city for sort of quick jobs is done from here. From what you can gather, they will sometimes fight off beasts. And they're generally powerful people.
And what sort of like training is there? What sort of training do these guards get? Just any of them, the random people, or
the guards as a whole.
Yeah.
Someone who wants to become a tranquil guard would be sort of tested on physical or magical capabilities, depending. And then they would basically be found a squad and would learn to a degree on the job. Those that go outside, similar. I'll work out details more. It's not like a school necessarily.
Pretty unqualified, just like they want to do that, and if they meet the bare minimum requirements, they get the job.
Well, it's more like a probationary period. They don't really have resources dedicated to paper exams on what you should do in X situation. It's more of, if you want to do this and you show promise, you will sort of be apprenticed to someone else. And if you don't die and you do well, you start advancing in the ranks.
Hey, keep in mind, the organization is this organization is not controlled by the same person that controls the bureaucracy. So it seems like they have very different managerial styles, and that would make sense.
They still
I
need
was
all the
imagining-
paperwork, but
I was imagining to get this Tranquil Guard license, you have to go to like the DMV.
that is one of the steps. It's just not the most important one because it's the tranquil
it's not.
guards. They're chill,
Some
man.
psychic paper. That's
Okay.
And it's gonna be great.
And how's the house guard set up? Is that
The house guard is more. The secretary works with Jambis, but then there's the butler, and the butler kind of tells your leader, who's not. You're sort of more like a mercenary crew, picked and chosen, for your fighting prowess and basically, to a degree, your ability to look scary. Not everyone's scary looking, given Tamash and Derm, but
My boy.
but you're not. It's not very rigid. It's just sort of, you have shifts and you get up and you're not always with the group.
the butler sort of just kind of organizes things and tells us what to do, and there's not any strict.
No, it's pretty
Okay.
set back and relaxed. I mean, the paperwork when it comes to getting paid and how many hours you've actually done is itemized perfectly, but the way in which you go about that is relatively relaxed.
Okay. Does it seem competent?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's relaxed, but there's no gaping holes that I'm looking like, wow, that is a terrible way of doing it. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Unless you're dumber than you sound. But, or just like, that came out wrong. I don't know. It depends also on your intelligence level if you would seize that difference, but
Yeah.
Given the intelligence level,
isn't great, but I have spent my life training
Yeah.
and learning, so.
it's a lot more relaxed than you're used to, and that makes you uncomfortable, but at the same time, it seems like in an
Sure.
emergency and having worked with a couple of the people on a few runs or just in guard duty, that most of the people here have their heads on their shoulders, and things are pretty good.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right. Does anyone else have anything else to do?
I wanted to socialize with the boys. Just get
Okay.
to know them.
Carousing?
How are you doing that, Orentha?
I was just gonna like
And both at once or sequentially?
both at once.
Wow.
I literally just want to get to know them.
Okay.
Yep.
It takes a couple of days for them to not be trying to like elbow each other out of the way whenever you stop by. But it seems like the more they get to know you, they're sort of starting to relax. Derm, who is, I believe we said he was older,
Yeah.
he's slightly chiller about it. He's not much older, but he sort of calms down a lot faster. Whereas Tamash has a short period of time where there's a very violent blush on his face, and that starts sort of disappearing by the end of the 10 days, though like both of them still kind of stammer when they see you walk in, and you drinking beer is still, they're kind of just like, how does she do that? Because it just all goes down,
Beer?
right?
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that what you're drinking?
Yes. I am a fan of beer.
Yeah.
How does their gastrointestinal system work?
Just imagine what
How
they
do people drink beer?
Back to the first assumption. Maria didn't sleep. All right. So after 10 days of working, researching, learning to read, which you now know what your name looks like, Agate.
gonna write it everywhere where we are with my writing.
It's just like Grog, except she actually learned.
Like if we're like in a cave or something, write it.
If
Okay.
Agate were a boy, this would be penises.
If Agate were Jester, this would be penises.
Also true.
Oh, Jester.
Oh, Jester. My Tabaxi Rogue is very slightly based off of Jester, which is probably why.
Which who caught up in Critical Role other than me?
I'm about
I am
a
not
month
caught
and a
up.
half behind.
I'm freaking out.
I'm still at the
I'm
live
13
show.
minutes from the end of the
Oh my god. Wait, which live?
The episode 37 live show. I don't even know what
Oh.
number there are now.
Are they
He's
with
a
the
ways
vodka?
behind.
But, okay, so after 10 days of what we will call relaxing for the sake of a shorter sentence, you all come down to breakfast, which is basically just trenchers full of goodies and beans and some rice and sausages and a little bit of fruit on the side, and I get your chipmunk at sort of moving its nose at everything and twitching its tail and looking around excitedly with a bright blue glint in its eye.
I decided to name it Jasper. So I'm like, eat the food. You're magic and you don't digest it.
Further proof that everything relates back to Twilight.
No, that's 101 Dalmatians. It's Jasper. Horace. You idiots.
You can't eat that. Eat things that aren't food.
Jasper tries to nibble on the plate.
It's okay. Does the plate disappear?
Do you push it closer to his mouth? I'm waiting for a response. I'm not sure if you heard it though.
Am I? Okay, so I'm not gonna give him a plate. I'm gonna like steal like the sugar spoon, that like really small one.
Okay.
Put that by him and see what happens.
Roll a sleight of hand check. It's now like closer to the end, so people have kind of gotten used to him being around, but it disappears and Jamra kind of notices and sort of looks over.
I'm a shrug.
Okay. As you are feasting, a dwarf comes in and heads straight to Cyrenixia's seat and looks down.
I imagine it's more of like a looking straight upward because I'm pretty large and sitting.
That's fair. Looks straight at you. Really
Maybe a little
fixedly.
Do I recognize this dwarf?
No.
What does this dwarf look like?
Well, you see. Well, first of all, he's a little shifty. He's looking at Sir next to it. He's like, all right.
May I do anything for you?
You in my seat. Am I moving?
Tamash and Durm next to you, Orentha, sort of stop talking and just their heads swivel.
I mean, are there well-established seats in this location?
Not necessarily.
No, this isn't the in-character question.
Yeah.
This is
It's like long table with chairs, and then some places have benches, but you are currently sitting in a chair. It's like my house, Derek, but you are currently
my
sitting in
question
one of the
is, like,
chairs.
is this a seat that I have been sitting in that has like become my assigned seat?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna whisper to the two guys. Who is that?
I would certainly have no objection to allowing you to sit here. Sit here. May I ask your name, sir? I am Cyrenixia of the clan of Argy.
Oh, okay. Guess that was easier than I was expecting.
I'll hold out a hand. A shake.
Trendek is the name. Some people call me Tren. Some people call me Dek. Some people call me Trendek.
Trindak. It is a pleasure.
Tamar sort of
Make your
leans
appointment.
over Orentha and goes, "Some people call him Trin. Some people call him Dak."
Oh
And then
my God,
Derm
Dak,
leans
right.
in and goes, "Some people call him Trin Dak."
Yes, thank you.
So
Anything
I'll
for
find
you.
another seat. Preferably nearby Trindak, interesting dwarf. I'm curious. He's new. I haven't seen him around.
all right. Well, thank you. I guess I'll just sit here. Yeah.
Do you move your
Are
plate,
you-
Cyrenixia?
Oh yeah, I'm moving to a I'll move to wherever the nearest seat is to him. It's available.
It's about, well, the interesting thing is that you had a seat sort of empty right next to you.
That
So,
then I will scoot over to that one.
okay.
That was not made clear.
I forgot. Back to the first assumption.
Okay.
Are you
Trindak.
new here,
May I ask?
Dak Trindak?
No, I've been here a wee bit. I've been gone for the past 10 days. Was out on a caravan trip, but I've been around the town for like a month. I would say probably at this point.
Yeah.
What brought you to Bird Lane?
Oh, what brought me here? Just
I meant no. If it is an uncomfortable topic, I meant no intrusion.
okay.
Friend, I have not heard a voice quite like that in ever. Where do you hail from?
All right. Well, I guess I come from Verison, but I sort of come from Hasneem.
Ah. I nod as if these things are significant to me.
You would know from the map that you purchased some time ago that there is a Hasnim and there is a Verasi.
Yeah, I know the locations and I recall sort of what the other players have told me so far in the little bits I've picked up, but I don't know if there's like a
I
great
guess
dwarven land.
I guess you could say I'm from the north.
Wait, I'm from Hasneem too.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, cool.
Great to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
You Hasnemians have such good conversation.
We're really good at.
Yeah.
Wait, can you write? Do you know how to write?
Yeah, I can write.
Then it's just me. I was just curious.
Oh, can you name right? You can name right?
She's been learning.
I didn't.
Letters.
Okay, I see.
I didn't know it was a Hasneem thing or just a me thing. But it's just a me thing.
Right. I'm sorry. I hope you can write soon.
Yeah.
So what What are y'all doing here? What are y'all doing here?
Working.
We've been in the
Just-
employ of Dartheur for the last 10 days. We've all arrived in Bridge Lane rather recently.
So that's why I've never seen you. That makes sense. Well, what else are you doing for him?
Oh, you know, if, anything that comes up, really, we are excited to be of use, but the past week or so, we have mostly been, you know, guarding the study, guarding the man, watering the plants, little bits of this and that.
Dusting the cold places.
Well, do you mind if I do some of that stuff with you?
Does anyone know
Name
you're
any
here?
friends around here?
Show up? What?
Show up? What you mean?
Do you work here?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I work here.
Insight check.
He just snuck in.
It's fucking
He's like, he wore an old ID he got from a networking event. And
Oh, I'm serious. I'm getting some weird vibes. I'm insight checking him.
his accent is fake. He's not really a dwarf. He's a human on his knees with shoes tied to his calves. Oh yeah, all dwarves talk like this.
Okay, does he, based on my insight check, Maria?
Trindak, go ahead.
Yeah. What am I saying?
Do you work here or not? Based on a 16 insight check.
Yeah, I work here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the what's his name? The Jambo guy?
Jambis Dartheur.
Jambis. Yeah, Jambis. I like him. He's the only one who hired me over the past month.
Oh god. Jamra sort of blinks when you say that, but doesn't comment.
He has treated us quite kindly these last 10 days. And
Yeah.
although I don't believe that we are, as employees of Mr. Dartheur, the ones that are in charge of who works on what missions, I certainly speak for myself, and I suspect I speak for the rest of most of the rest of Squad 13 as well, when I say that we'll be happy to have any help, any extra hands we can get.
Really? Alright, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, of course. And if by any chance you are aware of any particular things that need doing, or have you heard
I'm
of?
not.
Oh, all right then. Well, that's
He just comes to me and tells me when he needs me to do things. So
Mhm.
Well, do you have
I
any
see,
special skills? Like, do you loom? Do you?
no, didn't I loom? No. I can fight. I hit things. I mean, I am good in the wilderness. You know, I kind of grew up knowing that stuff. I sort of know my way around some weapons.
I leave the table to go to the bathroom.
I politely pay attention and
You know,
look out
guys,
for the diamond in the rough.
I gotta say, this is the most I've really talked to anybody in a while, so I
Really?
appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people around here. The right site, but I don't know. There's a lot of people they're just not friendly.
Ah,
Tamash and Durham kind
Yeah.
of just
well,
look really
you know,
disappointed.
Orenta is the friendliest of people. Everyone always says if you want the life of the party, go talk to Orenta.
I'm very
She
charming.
always enjoys taking new people under her wings.
I'm very
This-
charming.
All right.
Do you like
All
beer?
this is yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I would say so.
I'll take out my water skin. It's always filled with beer. And I
Less water skin, more hip flask.
Judek just looks at her, so he's like,
Wineskin, perhaps?
okay. Great.
I think we call it beer skin.
Yeah.
This one I made myself about a year ago. I'm sorry in advance.
That's why it tastes a bit fresh.
Well,
Right.
it was a work in progress.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Here you go.
All this is happening. I walked into the other room, sat down, and seeing through my chipmunk.
What did you do to your chipmunk?
No, it's I'm using the familiar site thing.
Oh.
And I'm gonna try to crawl up to our new friend's pockets and rummage through them as a chipmunk.
Ah.
Okay, so Jasper sort of scurries down. Trindak sort of left his pack down on the ground, and as Jasper sneaks in, how tightly is this closed, Trindak?
How tightly is what close?
Your pack closed.
Probably not too tightly
Okay.
right now.
So Jasper should be able to get in without much of a problem. I assume that is a nod.
Oh my.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
what does this tiny little chipmunk see?
Oh, I mean, in my stuff, not much. Poverty,
Depression.
sadness, loneliness.
Like what's in the bag?
Explorer stuff. A little bit of gold. I mean, I should also, maybe now is a good time to just describe me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like 4.5 feet, basically. I don't have any, like, I don't really
does
have
that
any
sound?
true to armor. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have any, like, true to armor stuff on. So, nothing really padded. I've got longer, kind of darker skin, darker so than for most dwarves. And you also see, I mean, strapped to me is a great axe, where both edges of it they're kind of like aligned, dark, like black, dark purple, kind of ish. And he's got kind of softer features, but he's still jacked like you would expect a stout dwarf to be, but not as rugged as you would expect. And there's not much in my pack.
Well, since Agate just gave him a spoon and now he thinks spoons are okay, gonna go steal the spoon from your mess kit Didn't leave your bag.
Do I notice?
Roll a perception check. You do notice that there is some rustling coming from your feet.
From my feet.
Yeah, in your pack.
Hey, what's that? What's going on here? Do I open it and I see him?
As he's opening it, I bamf Jasper away.
You what?
Jasper away.
You bash him away.
And as I do so, now there are 2 spoons in your bag, so there's 1 more spoon than there was before.
What the heck you doing, mate? Is that your little hamster thing?
Well, she's not in the room right now. She left.
Not in the room.
Oh, okay. So I'm just like, what the heck?
A spoon?
2 spoons. All right.
They're multiplying.
I've got chills, they're multiplying.
So I guess I'll just deal with that then. Double the eating power. I'm gonna close my bag back and just put it back between my legs and make sure it's tight.
Okay. As you're doing that, the butler comes downstairs, and he's a sort of tall, thin man, and looks out at all of you and says, I need 5 of you, and then picks out all of you. Follow me and get your things.
How could you? I wave goodbye to.
Thomas and Derm wave sadly.
Oh no, I instantly regret it.
She kissed me! No, it was me! And the few things you hear as you go out is just like utter chaos. You're starting to realize that feelings are big and important for
How
some
many
people.
other guards are in this house?
You guys are about half the number that is there. But as you follow the butler out front, as you follow the butler up front, you see that Jambis is there, and he says, you're here. Yes, I'm having a meeting with someone. And you are going to follow me. Not quite
Very
all
well.
of you. Some of you should probably hang behind in case there are tricks up their sleeves.
Are we expecting trouble with this meeting? May I ask who it is we will be seeing?
You could call them co-workers.
Call them what?
Co-workers.
Coworkers.
Or what it was? Oh yes.
Coworkers.
Co-workers. I thought it was a different word. I was like, what do you mean? He sort of shakes his head and starts walking. So you are basically following him through the streets of Gravera. He leaves the district of Pemulp, and let's go back to the actual map.
Oh, okay.
But he leaves the district of Pemulp and sort of goes through the next district over, and into, sorry, still trying to pan this properly. But basically, in a sort of roundabout way, he gets to the small, tiny little red district that's close to the gate going out the other way.
That one there?
The other way. Here. I forgot I could select things.
That's tiny. That's okay. That's tiny.
And people are sort of noticing you, but none of you none of you are really that sparkly, shiny, well put together necessarily. Like, it's not, you don't look homeless, you just don't look extraordinarily well off, and Jambis seems to have sort of dressed it down for this occasion. But you guys get...
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself
Okay.
before we go.
How long does that last? 8 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you're walking, and you've been to Cynic Heights, but you haven't quite been this far down. It's different. So, Gull's Foot tended to smell like fish, and you could always smell the smell of the sea, and you can still smell it in this tiny little district, which is called the comma, but it's not...
The comma, like the punctuation?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not quite as strong, and it's more overpowered by the smell of people. Jambis sort of leads you through... I mean, he's not far ahead of you. He's sort of still staying within the group, but he leads you through these streets until you get to a door.
If he's actually in front, I would sir, I believe it would be better if perhaps you could direct us, and I would take the lead. It's my job to keep you safe.
You may walk beside me. And you sort of reach this hole in the wall, which isn't a hole in the wall. It's like those entrances to little taverns that are just really closed and sort of dank, and the wall seems to be sort of falling apart. But he ducks in, and you guys follow after, and inside is a person dressed in all black with a veil over their face. It says, you've arrived. And Jambis sort of inclines his head and says, yes. Are they all downstairs? And the person with the veil nods. And those of you with dark vision, whose eyesight has adjusted slightly more quickly, you notice there's another curtain. And Trindeck, you haven't been here before, but you've kind of heard about it. You've spent more time in the city. You've been around the city more often. You've sort of passed by here before. Jambis is a very friendly person, but every once in a while he comes down here. Seems to be the consensus. And all of you sort of held down the steps are quite rickety. And downstairs there are 5 more people who nod to Jambis. And one of them says, you didn't need to bring quite so many reinforcements. And Jambis tells you guys to wait here and steps into a smaller room with one of the people that's there. And you guys are just left staring at 4 people dressed similarly to the person upstairs that are also...
So they all have black veils?
Yes.
Still dark?
There's a torch on the wall, but it's not lending a lot of light.
Okay.
Okay. This is a little
suspicious.
Suspicious.
I'm extremely uncomfortable. I'm
Yeah.
wondering what the level, what sort of contract we actually have with this person.
Can I check these people out to see if there's anything that tells me about them other than them like wearing black veils? Like, do they have anything on them?
Yeah,
at a
there's an insignia on their shoulder that seems to sort of be holding the, not on their shoulder. It's sort of, there's like, it's a copy of what's up here to hold the veil in place, and it's right there, and that's in the shape of a lightning bolt. But you may roll a, let's say, history check, because you've been here a while.
I'm so dumb, guys.
It's a lightning bolt. It seems like a group of
I think I've seen lightning before.
Any
criminals.
chance I would have come across anything in my
No.
Okay.
Any chance I've seen that while I've worked here?
It tends to
Before.
be, it was actually on one of the shipments you were dealing with.
One of the what?
The shipments you were dealing with. It wasn't,
Oh, okay.
what's the word for not obvious?
Subtle?
Yes, it was rather subtle. Thank you. It was subtle, but it was there, and it wasn't on everything. But you know that the caravan you were taking was not, I mean, you didn't, it was partially underground and partially outside and partially a couple of other things, but you
Well, I
know
guess-
that these
I guess
people
it's-
are dangerous when they want to
do.
be.
Okay. Great. How open is this space?
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah, were you able to? Do they have any visible
Uh,
weapons like protruding from robes anywhere? Bumps that look like weapons or armor underneath it?
Every single one of them seems to have some kind of sword or dagger on them.
Okay.
you-
As this is going on, I would like to use my subtle spell, meta magic,
Okay.
and use that to cast detect thoughts unnoticeably.
That's
Whom? All of them, or? I'm not sure how
Anyone.
it works. I would love to find this.
I'm gonna click the spell right now,
Oh, thank you.
so it will go into the chat hopefully.
you get like surface thoughts, and if you want to go deeper,
Yeah.
then they might find out.
There's a
But
there's a wisdom
Roll
save
save.
if I want to go deeper. As long as they have as long as they're within 30 feet and they have an intelligence of higher than 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to focus my mind first off on the one in front, and see if I get any of his surface thoughts.
And subtle is just undetected, and you're using
Is it-
magic
Subtle
points.
is no somatic or material components. Somatic or
Oh,
verbal
okay, thank you.
components.
somatic or verbal components.
Okay, that's helpful.
Your ear or something.
What, dear?
And the items is copper. Do you just like push it in their ear like a slot?
No, I get to eschew it because I'm a sorcerer.
Oh.
So the guy in front of you seems to also be checking you guys out. And their point of view seems to sort of be like amateurs.
Okay. Is he thinking that does he have a sense of anticipation about him? Like something's coming. Got to be ready for.
Yes, but you also get the sense that this guy has done it often enough that there's an anticipation, but is not like gleeful or excited or scared. It's just kind of like, this is something big's gonna happen. It's sort of a neutral anticipation, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna shift it to the next one. See if I
Okay.
get anything different. I'm gonna basically go in turn, and I'm gonna see if there's any of them that I'm able to glean a little bit
Um,
more from.
basically, hold on, let me just. All right, yeah. So basically, what you're able to gather is that this is some kind of job. This is not the first meeting, but this is where something's gonna go down, and it has to do with moving goods.
Okay. I would like to. I would like to chat with them a little bit as the spell is happening, and basically try to. I know that they're not going to respond, but try to, through careful word choice, draw their mind to focus on certain things on the surface, and see if I can't elicit a mental response, even though there is no verbal response.
Okay, so what are you saying?
Yes.
I say, "Oh, it is getting a little bit late. I certainly hope that things will be concluded in a reasonably quick order."
So you would know that you basically left right after breakfast, if that
That what?
changes. You left right after breakfast, pretty much.
We left out right after what?
Breakfast.
Oh, this is breakfast? No, I don't say that then. I thought
It
this was dinner.
sounded, the way you described it sounded like it was dark.
Okay. In that case,
It's dark
then,
in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that is very true. It is dark in here.
And
But it's bright
I
there.
I am visibly sweating.
then I will just say, and then I will just say, I'm glad that we can come together so calmly for our accord. And, things will remain peaceful. And seeing if there's like any thought in his mind of, no, they're not going to. We're about to abduct your friend, essentially. Although I'd probably say that with a little bit more subtlety. He is very charismatic, and I is charismatic.
Okay, why don't you roll a charisma check really quickly, just to...
I'll do that.
It's not necessarily affecting things the way you think it is, but just to give me some guidance as I...
Yeah. Why can't? Okay.
So one thing, Mike, that you may not know is that if you just click the word, it'll roll for
Yeah.
you. Okay, you may have figured it out.
They're 12.
Okay. The one you're currently listening into is kind of just like... The overwhelming feeling is noob.
Okay.
Like, you don't quite know what's going on, and it's kind of obvious. You're not getting the sense that anyone wants to kill you.
That's comforting.
And it's not an incredibly tense situation, but you are in a dark room with strangers, pretty much. Is anyone else doing anything?
Do we hear any sounds from the other side of the door that
There's some whispering,
Dartheur went
but you
through?
can't hear quite. Actually, roll a perception check. Maybe you have better...
I've got a -1. I doubt it's gonna happen.
Let's try it.
You don't even hear the whispers. Jack, what are you paying attention to? Are you paying attention to people, or are you paying attention to...
I was just trying. I am just seeing if. Basically, I'm just. My eyes are on them because I just think that if anything's going to happen,
Okay.
Yeah,
they're
Right.
One of us got one.
definitely
yeah.
on alert, ready to.
But
I am on anxiety alert. So
So,
do I hear anything?
would you say you have disadvantage? Like, is the stress enough that you would have disadvantage, or is it?
I don't know. I'm just.
There's a
like,
reason probably people shouldn't roll until it has been hinted. But since you are a new character, Like, you know your level of claustrophobia. How bad is it?
I know my what?
You know your level of claustrophobia.
Yes.
That's gotta be rough as a dwarf.
Yeah.
So
Small, so
stereotypical.
most faces seem bigger.
What?
At least he's small, so most faces seem bigger.
He's also broad. He's still a medium creature.
Not all medium is the same medium.
A medium rare.
This is happening. I'm writing my name on the wall.
Oh, okay. That changes Jambis.
If I noticed her doing that, which I probably don't, I
No,
would.
you definitely don't.
Okay.
Really nice, like.
Jamra, you do notice that Agate is writing on the wall because some of the people in front of you have noticed it.
I guess I'll use it to see if they change. Like, I'm just trying to look into their thoughts for any kind of threat, any
Okay.
kind of danger.
Good to know. So, Trindak,
That's all.
Yes.
how stressed are you right now?
Yeah. I mean. Okay. So when do we go? I say that out loud.
Oh
We
my god.
wait here until Dartheur returns. What is his title? Does he have a title of any sort?
As Cyrenexia says Dartheur, the one you're listening to, Jamra, has this spark of like, ooh, good to know.
Did he not come? Did he come masked?
He did,
Like-
he did not.
So he
Okay,
never
so they-
told us that we shouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, and well, if he's just like walking in looking like himself, he probably. So
Yeah.
he just
If
thinks.
he wanted us to be subtle, he should have told us.
I am not
I'm
saying
not-
any.
Yeah.
The DM
I'm
did
not-
not yell at you.
I know.
Okay. So. Okay, so my question is, did he
What were
like?
his
So he
first
said he
thoughts?
thought like good to know
Yeah.
when the name Darthur came up. Okay.
What is his? You didn't answer my question though.
No, what?
What's his title? Does he have a title of some sort
No.
that I would refer to him
Merchant.
as? Okay.
I guess we just wait then.
Yep.
Wait and we see if anything happens.
Agate,
There's not really anything we can do.
Okay.
do either of you two have something to say or do? Other than name writing? Oh, Agate was writing her name, but Warentha?
I was trying to see if there was anything on them that would identify them, but it was just a little lightning
Okay,
bolt.
yeah, you're right. Okay, so you guys stay there about 10 minutes. Trindak, roll a Constitution saving
I'm
throw.
hyperventilating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need to wait?
You're gonna get
outside?
fired, Tindak. Oh, Tindak.
Hey.
Nice. Okay, you do
Okay.
not run.
I just look at the torch and I meditate.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go up to his character and poke him on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Don't touch me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Would you
Okay.
prefer to
I
wait
just I walk away.
outside?
What did Arenta say?
Would you prefer to wait outside?
If I can.
Or maybe I'll go through some breathing techniques for you to center
Oh my
yourself.
god.
I just want to go.
Oh, okay.
The new guy?
I may have. How long does heroism last? Is it just a minute?
Guys, we're the most intimidating.
Okay, that's not long enough then. It could cure your fear for a minute, but
You're making us look lame in front of the other criminals.
Did you say that out loud?
Did you say that? Okay.
No, I don't.
No, Jack, that only lasts a minute, right?
Yeah, it does. It only lasts.
Okay. Cool. Jambis sort of comes back outside. Unless
I
you're
will
next-
actually go out with him if he's leaving.
I will follow
Jack is
them,
heading out. I will
seeing that they're
escort him
taking
out.
a step outside.
Like, I'm not gonna leave on my own, but if he's leaving, I will take that and follow him, and the pretense of caring for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That made me think.
Well, as soon as I get outside of, there's not somebody immediately watching me, I want to take a moment.
Hold on, before you get there. As you guys climb up the stairs, which, Trindak, they seem smaller than ever. Like, coming down was scary. Now it seems like they're closing in on you. You're never going to get out. But you manage to get through the curtain, and the light from outside it's dim light in here. And the mask, the veiled figure from before is there and kind of just looking at you. And you're moving to move outside?
Trindak requires a breath of fresh air, and I thought I would escort him.
Sit here.
We will be just outside.
No. We can't have people outside.
We can't have people what?
Outside. And there's a
We will.
bench that is like, no, we can't have people outside. And just points to it.
Alright, well, I'm not going back down the stairs. I'll stay at the top.
Okay.
How long are the stairs? Like, how far would it take me to run back downstairs to get there?
Not far. It's like 20 steps.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so for those of you downstairs, Agate, your name looks beautiful. It's not quite as good as Jamra's writing, but you feel like you'll need a lot more practice before you can get nearly as good as Jamra's writing, since Jamra is proficient in writing. But it looks beautiful, and it's starting to look not quite as squiggly as it used to, and you're very proud of yourself.
Yay. I'd like pull on Dahmer's shirt to come and show him.
I will go over and look at it appropriately, and appropriately coo over the success.
Great.
Trindak.
And then after he walks
Go ahead.
away, like, just try to. I don't want to vandalize this potential criminal enterprise.
Oh,
The chalk does rub off, but you do get a lot of dirt on your hands simultaneously.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Trindak, will you be alright up here if I head back down? I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
remiss in my duties.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So I'll head down. Is there like a space in the stairs where I could quietly cast Detect Good and Evil without people observing me?
I mean, how obvious is it? Like, how loud are you
It's
being?
it's got some verbal and somatic components, but
Oh,
it's
you're asking,
not.
like, can you be on the stairs viewing
I
people,
want to
but
be able to
not-
cast Detect Good and Evil without people seeing me do it. So like,
yeah, I mean,
if there's
if you
like
close the... What's its range? Like 30 feet?
it's 30 feet, but it also lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, if
So.
you cast it from, like, the second or third stair,
Middle of the stairs.
from the
Okay.
tops or, like, something like that, you'd be just high enough that people downstairs couldn't see you.
Okay,
Especially because you're taller.
sounds good.
Alright.
So I'll do that and head downstairs. If any of those things are within 30 feet of me at any point.
Do tieflings count as fiends?
No.
Okay.
Unless you want them to.
No. What do familiars count as?
They're fey.
Okay.
Or fiend, depending on which one you want.
Okay. You sense a tiny undead creature hovering somewhere around Agate. And fey or fiend, Jamra? For your
I
hawk.
think
And is it
fiend.
out? Okay.
He's out. He's on my shoulder.
Okay. And okay, so
But
some
nothing
people
else.
would have noted the hawk. I need to remember to ask what's out when you start mind reading people.
They would have noticed. What about the hawk?
Well, it's just been like cool hawk, and it would have slightly mitigated the level of noobness that they assumed.
Oh, okay.
But
I am fine in this context with being assumed to be a noob. It's more likely that they'll underestimate us.
yes,
But nothing else other than my companions.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So as you come back downstairs, Serenixia, Jamra steps out, and doesn't look quite as serious, but he doesn't look necessarily happy. It's just sort of like, yes, we have concluded this deal. Based on, it's just sort of like, all right, and I'll get that sent down. And he looks at you, Cyrenixia, and nods, and starts heading back up the stairs.
Can I get a quick look in the room that he was in? Like, is there anything out?
Yeah, is a table, 2 chairs, a book, and if you want to take the chance to lean forward, there is something on that table that you might be able to see.
I will lean forward
Okay?
stealthily.
As you do that, stealthily, roll a stealth check.
Thank you.
You lean forward stealthily and see 2 mugs sitting next to a piece of paper that looks like it might be a contract.
Oh.
Or it could just be a piece of paper.
Or
Words.
So many. Okay. Okay. I will follow everyone up.
All right.
Okay.
And as you get to the top of the stairs, Jambis sort of looks around and says, "There were 5 of you."
Trindak is waiting at the top.
He's at the top of the stairs.
Needed
Is he not at that?
some-
Well, as you get to the top, is he no longer at the top of the stairs?
No, he just
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
stepped through. He hasn't stepped through yet.
He was guarding the
curtain.
door
Okay.
very bravely.
Okay. So he sort of pulls the curtain open and says, "I'll be back tomorrow," and leaves the room basically and is back out on the streets. As you are out on the streets, Agate, you notice that all the squiggles that have been on the walls actually look similar to some of the letters Jamra has been teaching you.
could you repeat all of that? Your audio got.
Which bit of all of that?
Squiggles on walls.
All of it.
Thing.
From the agate you noticed.
Agate, you notice that the squiggles on the walls that you sort of noticed because they were pretty now actually look like some of the letters that Jamra was teaching you. You don't remember any of the things Cyrenixia taught you, necessarily. But
I'm a great teacher.
I mean, there's hints of it. It's just like, oh, but Jamra explained this one.
Let's have a perception check from people.
From
What?
everyone.
It's fun being bad at things.
Okay. Are we waiting for one other person? Yes.
Can you roll for me? My thing just froze up for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Do. Perception. Cool. So Orentha and Agate, Drummer is walking differently. Or just moving differently.
How so?
I look at his feet. Does he have feet?
Yes. He's just like, something's off.
Does his demeanor look alright? Can I insight check to see if his personality changed or anything?
Sure, how would you like to check that his personality has changed as you're walking through the streets of the city?
I will walk up to him and say, "Hey, Jamra."
Who's Jamra? I said Jambis.
Oh,
Oh,
Jambis.
whoa!
I
You said
hope I said Jambis. Fuck
You
me.
said
Oh my god,
I'm going to bed now. This is horrible.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I asked about the feet.
Yeah.
But
I was
think that's
confused. I
still
was
an
like, oh,
important question.
have I been possessed?
Sure, Jamra's been possessed. Moving on. Jambis. Jeez.
I'd still like to know about Jambus's feet.
Jambis also has feet. I don't know if Jamra does.
I will go up to Jambus.
I'm so
then.
sad.
Are his feet proportionally too small? Or like normal size?
You're not sure what they were before, but right now they're proportionally smaller.
You know what that means.
That's interesting.
I would still like to walk up to Jambus then.
Okay.
On the other side of him from Cyrenexia. And just kind of look around like I'm watching out and say, "Everything go all right in there, boss?"
He nods.
Okay.
We should have had a code word. We is safe word.
Pineapple.
I assume if it wasn't 10 minutes before he came out, there were no weird fiendish vibes from him or anything like that.
That's a good
Now that
question.
now that I notice he's really uncomfortable, I'm gonna look behind us and see if there's anything like we're being followed.
Roll another perception check.
Imagine if he was possessed, I would sense him.
Yeah.
Are we in the same formation? Is Derek walking next to him still?
Yes.
Okay.
Cyrenexia is currently walking next to him. Yeah, you're not sensing Fae. Or fiends or anything else on that list.
Okay.
Followed?
You sort of see a black shadow duck out as you look behind you.
What was that? Your audio. I'm so sorry.
A black
sorry.
shadow ducks out behind you.
Okay.
So out of sight.
I'm going to like tug on Jamra's sleeve and be like, "Did you?" And maybe I'm just be like, "We're being followed," and then that's it.
I reach down and put a hand on Agate's shoulder. And say, "Guide me carefully." And then I place myself into the eyes of my familiar, who has dark vision.
Yeah.
Any
The
of
hawk, and I and the body of the hawk leap off my shoulder, fly a circle, looking in the alleys, looking for people acting untoward.
do I
Do I see anything?
do I hear Agate, or were you being very quiet and just to drama?
I'm being very quiet. It was just
Oh,
drama.
okay. Sounds good.
He has would you like the hawk to make a perception check? Or?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, he has advantage on perception checks due to
Okay.
his keen sight.
I figured.
Hawkeye.
Yes. That's a crit for a 22.
Yeah.
You notice 3 figures, all following you, and sort of not like they're not in a file, but they're sort of flanking and starting to move around. You don't see them all at the same time, but given that your hawk is doing circles,
They're all around. Like, so
they're a
are
little
they
bit
like?
behind you, but they're spreading out so that they will eventually be all around.
And they're spreading out to what?
They're spreading out to the sides. There's one behind you. There's 2 sort of coming out diagonally. So if you're going down the street, they're sort of coming around like this, but they're still a little bit behind you.
I whisper all of that in Agate's ear,
Okay.
and I say, "What are the others?"
Is she letting go of you to do that?
That's her decision.
Not. And so okay, so there's 3 guys.
Yes.
3.
Okay. So I'm going to jump off my shoulder.
What?
To,
Her familiar.
Okay.
puff my shoulder onto the rent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to roll something.
I'm not sure, because sure. How close are you to Orentha, though? Orentha's up in front.
I slowly backed away from
Okay.
the boss after my awkward attempt at talking to him.
For that, you'd retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no perception that anything is going.
Nope.
Me neither.
Although I am still alert, as is required.
Yeah, sorry. Make
One of
a
my-
dexterity check, I guess, for the chipmunk
So
to
my
jump.
my dex is +2 because I was just saying my chipmunk's a modified squirrel, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Be this +1.
Okay.
Would be a 9.
Okay, you feel something around mid-back that starts scrambling up madly.
I just look back to see if I can see anything.
That makes me uncomfortable.
The
Reaches your
demon squirrel.
shoulder. It's an undead squirrel, excuse you.
Oh, fucking hell, Agate.
It doesn't need to blink.
Jambis
And
looks
its eyes.
behind him and sort of looks straight at you, Orentha,
I will look
as you
back
say,
at
fucking hell, Agate. And he
I'll
sort of
look back
shakes
at
his head
Agate.
and keeps walking. What next, Agate?
What was that?
What next?
I said I
You've
looked
gotten
back at
Orentha's
you.
attention.
The attention is what? Knows my chipmunk's gonna tap 3 times on her cheek.
It does so.
I don't know if you understand that, but that's what I'm going for.
Orentha looks around awkwardly and tries to give the chipmunk back a kiss because that's what she thinks Agate was doing.
Okay, I will point out that Agate is 11. Right? Or like 8?
She's 13, right?
Yeah.
13? Okay.
Arentha will look around to see if anything's more wrong than it already is. May I attempt to perceive things?
Yes. Again.
Thank you.
You did notice some shadows. You don't notice anything this time around.
Just gonna kiss the chipmunk.
Okay. 1 second. Hello, come in. Say hi to all the people.
It's just the second day.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How does the upstairs shower work?
Oh, jeez. That's a very good question.
I've been taking weird baths all the past couple hours.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day and I have to be up at 7 tomorrow. I'm sorry. I will be back. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm gonna go pee while you do that.
I'm gonna microwave a pancake.
Sorry, who was that?
Kim.
That was Kim. Oh, right. I keep forgetting that Muddy is still at Colgate.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just here in Syracuse.
Good old Syracuse. Is
How
this
is
just a new accent you're trying out?
What?
You sticking with the accent forever now?
Oh, I've been doing it for a bit just because it's kind of become one of my like go-to like joke voices.
It's good. I like it.
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh.
So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Good.
I'm alright.
Doing all right?
I didn't even mean that one to be.
I just realized I have 2 more points that I never gave myself when I was setting up my attributes.
Oh.
As an ability buy, like point buy.
Yeah, I only used 25 of the
Nice.
27 points.
Nice.
Nice.
So now I'm figuring out what to put those in.
I am not a fan of this whole point buy thing.
Why
I feel
not?
worse off.
You feel what?
I feel much worse off than when I normally roll.
I think I was able to get along decently
I like it.
with,
I think
with it this time.
yeah, I think I like it. It just makes more room for growth and makes you weaker, which is like you don't need to be extra strong. You'll be strong enough.
But I want to be.
I don't think that the extra points hurt the math, really.
Yeah.
I think that I like having the extra points because I think that it makes certain builds viable that otherwise wouldn't be.
That's fair. Although mathematically you should end up basically the same.
You should, but the thing is most people allow rerolls of 1s, in which case you definitely do not end up the same.
Yeah. Or
And if you're allowed to roll
bad, if it goes very badly, you will.
What?
Oh, like if you get really bad stats.
If you roll less than 8, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the way, at least when I've done rolling stats, I take a total. So like if you have a 6, like, I mean, if it's terror, there's benefits to both of them. But I need to decide what I need to relook at my plan for my future.
I'm so happy I finally hit level 3. I actually have a real class.
Yeah.
So I get 4.
So,
Oh.
Derek and Emily, you
Yes.
two are currently people that I know less about what's going on currently. I would like that to be resolved.
What do you mean by that?
I don't
Means
know
what's
what
going
you're
on in
doing
your
in
life.
life.
Current
Yes.
life things. Okay.
I am working at Notre Dame, so I'm living in Indiana.
Nice.
And I'm doing event planning. So basically gate night, but for people with money, which is And I told
yes.
I've
told
never
Martha
seen a more confusing
she was
shower
the only
bath.
person. She was the only reason I got a job after college was because I was in gate night.
Really?
Nice.
Wait, so I missed it. I want to know now.
I'm working in event planning at Notre Dame, and I got the job because I was in gate night.
Nice.
Oh.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
Really putting my degree to use.
That good old small college
Yeah.
liberal arts activities.
Yep.
It
And-
really is.
Yeah. And I am spending the summer doing particle physics at Fermilab before I start graduate school at Yale.
Damn.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm relearning
glad I went
calculus for the third time. So
I
sad.
am working at a venture capitalist firm and through Bumble.
Wait, what?
You and everyone else at a venture capitalist firm.
Oh my god.
R.I.P.
That's funny.
And what are you up to, Mike?
Well, figuring that out right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I am graduated as of last month. And
Congratulations.
I'm still on the hunt.
Congratulations.
Cool. That's awesome.
You're the first person in our class with a second degree.
What?
You're the first person in our class with a second degree.
No, Sarah has.
Sarah has 2 degrees now.
Technically,
Oh
do
yeah,
you?
yeah, you do have
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
don't
two
you?
two bachelors.
Oh, the 2 back.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't realize you actually got 2 bachelor's degrees.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Fine, you're the second person, Mike, but you're the first person with a master's for now.
I got them degrees.
Yeah.
She didn't just do it for the exposure.
Though to be fair, with the exposure she gets at Columbia.
I did it for the exposure.
She did.
So we're being followed. It's tense and dramatic, and I have no idea what's.
It's dead.
Yes.
You are being followed. It's tense and
Well,
dramatic.
I don't know.
Present tense.
Irexia
Jambis
doesn't.
continues to have feet, as does Jambis.
I'm just
A chipmunk has been kissed.
yes.
Kiss.
A dead
I found
chipmunk.
true love. It actually turned into a prince and a campaign.
Speaking of which,
End of campaign.
If I so I can't hear anything, so I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that Orentha got the message.
okay.
And the chipmunk is going to jump to Mike. What's your character's name?
My name?
Turndack.
Trindak shoulder. Dak.
Okay.
So,
Roll
Okay.
another dexterity thing for the chipmunk. Please.
and then this plus another 1.
Okay. Trindak, you feel something land on your shoulder.
So,
I just kind of freeze up a little. I keep walking, but I'm just kind of like.
It has bright blue eyes.
Glow softly in the dark.
They twinkle
I
at you.
feel an
Tend to like
overwhelming
the
sense of attraction.
Lucille.
That hurts me.
Yeah, it's just there.
Worked the first time. It's gonna tap on his face 3 times.
Incredible.
I don't like swat it off, but I kind of like stop it, mate.
Jambis turns around and looks at you, Trindag. And this looks like his annoyed face. It doesn't look much different from his other faces, but you have worked with him longer.
Sorry.
And he kind of speeds up.
Okay.
And Jamra, as you keep walking, you notice that the people following you are also speeding up.
I noticed what? Sorry.
The people following you are also speeding up.
Okay. Are they getting closer to us?
They are on the right-hand side. The one is getting slightly closer. The others are keeping relatively the same distance.
Okay. The hawk swivels his head and looks and sees that no one is reacting in any way. And it will let out a piercing cry.
Okay.
Is there any reaction?
I guess those who hear it would turn around.
Perhaps.
So where's the hawk exactly right now?
The hawk is in the air, overhead,
Okay.
circling, watching the people. And I'm gonna have the... Yeah, I'm going to have the hawk let out a piercing cry, and when that happens, I'm going to say in a low voice, ideally sufficient so that those around me can hear, "We are being followed. There is one behind, one on the left, one on the right."
Is that so our boss can hear it too, or just...
Ideally everyone around us, but not, alerting the enemy.
Okay.
Okay. And Jambis says, walk faster.
He says walk
He
faster.
says what?
Yes. Jambis says, walk faster.
Okay.
Power walking now?
Yep, pretty much.
Use my 40 feet of movement.
I use my 25.
Soon, Trindak is left behind. With Jambis, technically, because Jambis is a halfling, so.
Oh, he's a halfling?
He's a halfling?
Wow.
Well, his sister that was dead was a halfling. But,
Oh.
Alright, so as you guys are walking, you're walking faster. There was a reaction from the hawk, like regular people were sort of like, oh, look, a hawk, and pointing. The people following you just sort of glance up to ascertain what it is and then keep walking. And Jambis sort of takes a cut to the right, and you reach an alleyway. And as you're walking, I would like another perception check from those of you on the ground that are capable of ascertaining things on the ground. So basically everything at one except Jabra. And Sarah, was that 17 for you, or was it from before?
That 17 was for me.
Okay.
Do you want me to run one for Jasper?
No, I just wanted to double check that that hadn't already been there.
Sorry, we're making perception checks.
Yes.
I see everything.
Cyrenexia, you have never seen such beauty. Like, it's almost like this part of the city you wouldn't think would be beautiful, but you're just starting to notice that there are people here and there are houses and it's cool, and this place is starting to become less weird to you. That is all you know. You don't notice anything to do with what's following you. You're just kind of going with it. Marwyn at this point would be noticing butterflies. Trindak, everything seems relatively okay. Jambis does seem a little bit more nervous.
Yeah, I am feeling a bit uneasy, but
It could be
nothing crazy.
the remnants of claustrophobia.
Did Trindak hear what I said, or? Cause
I would assume so, especially if
I would,
Jambis
yeah.
said that.
Oh yeah.
Jambis said that.
Okay, yeah.
But you don't necessarily notice anything out of the ordinary. And then Orenda and Agate, you are kind of just like, it's almost like Jambis is limping now. Like, the faster he's walking, you're starting to notice like his gait is not quite even. And as he ducks into this alleyway, Jumra, you can see the person on the right getting closer and closer. And
when I see them get closer, sorry, who's ducking into the alleyway?
Jambis and theoretically the rest of you.
Is this the alleyway like towards our destination, or is he trying to lose them?
How good are you with sense of direction?
I mean, I think I'm pretty good, particularly since I have literally a bird's eye view.
That's fair. Yeah.
I also have the wanderer trait, so I can help with that.
Okay, so you two would realize that it is in the direction we're headed, or you're headed, but it's not the straightest path to get there.
Looking through the bird's eye view, I'm going to use dancing lights, and I'm going to cause one globule of light to appear on the forehead of each of the people that is following us. Just right in front of their eyes in the night. And I'm just going to have it be bright
it's still
white
daytime.
light.
It's not night, it's still daytime.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like 10 in the morning.
Then just like globule of red light right in front of their eyes.
Red light, you said? Or bright light?
Yeah, we make it red.
Stop.
Bright red.
Stop.
You're giving them a red nose.
Rudolph.
I'm putting it in front of their eyes. There. Gosh.
Like,
Clever.
I'm taking the red eye.
Make a hearing perception check for the hawk.
A hearing perception check.
Yeah, so
Okay.
not with advantage because it's not keen sight.
Okay. Natural 20!
Oh my god.
You hear a distinct from the guy in the back, "Not again!"
What?
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 Interesting.
Just go
I don't know what
with
this guy's been through, but I feel bad.
Yeah, what a specific situation to have repeated.
The hawk swoops again and lets out a piercing cry.
Okay. Jambis sort of looks straight at you and says, "Be careful." And,
I don't hear him.
oh, that's okay. He doesn't know that, though. So he looks
He
straight
doesn't know that.
He looks straight at you and says, "Be careful." So the rest of you the rest of you hear that and understand that. But Jumra's hawk might. Does the hawk have a name yet?
The hawk is yet to have a name.
Okay.
I need some time.
Qua.
No.
You haven't seen Jumra's full name, so.
No, I see it in the character sheet.
Oh, okay.
Or in the character journal.
It is a good name.
How's Rocky?
Yes.
Fiddler Casino.
Yep. So, as you duck into this alleyway, and then another, and you're kind of just following. No, I just came to get water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I have like shower stuff in there? Move it if you need to.
Take time. It's okay.
Okay. Have fun.
Are you going to bed?
I never bought me one.
That's good.
Me, Brock Clark is my new best friend. He's so pretty.
And Dom.
8 books.
That's nice.
Me.
Yee. Bye. See you tomorrow, hopefully. I'll try and get up by 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna probably be up by 8, but like sleep if you need to.
Yeah, no, I'm...
We can run into each other upstairs. Probably good.
Okay. We live in the same house and have not seen each other. Because she's working like 10-hour days, and I was gone all day yesterday. So, it's just because of the Writers' Conference. So you duck through an alleyway and then another, and the people seem to be getting closer. The lights slowed them down for a little bit, but especially the one in the back seems to be pretty good about navigating with it.
Would my companions have noticed their location now that they are glowing?
Maybe at the intersections of streets, but it's not like a grid necessarily. Okay. It's just they would have to be closer than they are right now.
I will like, because I can move the lights up and down. Whenever I see them being within eyesight, I'm gonna cause the lights to bob up and down over their head, like going almost like an arrow, just indicating for all to see these people's locations.
Okay. And as Jambis keeps walking, as those lights are getting more and more annoying, suddenly they all sort of, not necessarily as if in one thought, but it gets to the point where they each sort of separate and stop following.
Okay. Do they sort of like pull back from the pursuit? Okay.
Annoyed submission.
I'm gonna have the hawk go high in the sky, so it can't really be seen well, and I'm gonna have him follow the one that was giving the instructions before.
The what before?
So I think you said one of them told the others to go to the sides. And I'm gonna have him follow that one.
Okay. So we'll just go with the one in the back. So how long do the lights last?
I mean, they last as long as I concentrate on them. But okay. Once they break off, like and disperse, I'm gonna turn them off. Like I'm gonna have them like sort of fade out, so it appears. The idea is that I want it to appear as if I am no longer watching them, while so the hawk will then follow. Because I want to know who these people are.
How can you cast the spell? Just because I remember when I had a familiar,
I just need line of sight. I can cast touch spells to the familiar.
Okay.
Or I can cast Dancing Lights was just a line of sight spell, as opposed to like a touch spell. I'm not casting any spells other than that.
Okay, we'll just go with that for now, and then I'll think about it some more because it's a really good use of the spell. So you said the lights are sort of dimming as they get further away?
Yeah, I'll just have them wink out, like, when they seem to have given up the chase.
Okay.
I'm basically just trying to create the assumption that I'm not following them.
Okay. So as they pull back and the lights wink out, they each, they don't meet up again. The one in the back that was, as you say, giving the instructions, sort of ducks around and moves through the alleyways, not following you guys, but just around. And then ducks into a building
Okay.
that is not the building you guys came out of.
I'm going to make note of the location, and then I'm going to instruct my familiar to take up watch and follow him. Follow him if he leaves, and if he doesn't leave when night falls, and or if he loses him, to come back to me and inform me of where he is.
Okay.
And then I return to my own senses.
So basically, once night hits, the hawk should come back unless it's following him.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
The location. I'm gonna find out what this person knows.
Sounds good. Okay, as you guys finish the detour, you sort of start heading back to Pemulp. And Jambis slows down. I assume you would tell him when they've fallen back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he slows down as you say that and sort of heaves a sigh of relief. And then when you get to his house, he sort of takes you all to the guard room and says, or not the guard room, but his room that you guys first came into when you were giving him the news about his sister. And he looks at each of you in turn and says, I hope you're not going to ask me uncomfortable questions. But just know that your help was appreciated. And that I am relying upon your secrecy.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Sort of nods slowly.
Sir, if you believe that those men were sent to follow you, I can locate one of them and inquire.
How stealthily can you do it?
I am watching him now. And all I need to do to know what he knows is have a good view.
Where is he now?
He is at I'll give the location of the house that he went into.
Okay. It's a sort of, it doesn't, you describe it, but it's a similar house to many of the places in the comma. And
I say what district it's in and like the general location.
I'm just, for you, it's a
Yeah.
nondescript house in the comma, and the comma doesn't, it's similar to Gullsfoot in that it doesn't necessarily have addresses, but as you give the location, he nods and says, good. And what's he doing right now?
He's under observation, but I don't know. I'll just go into the bird's eyes now.
The street is deserted right now. I mean,
sorry.
the person.
Yeah, he is inside. I do not have a direct sight on him.
Intriguing. There will be a shipment tomorrow. Through the tunnels that many of you so obligingly cleared.
Ha! I knew it.
Tunnels.
So, okay.
We killed some spiders in some tunnels.
We've actually been helping the local thieves guild or something. It's not necessarily thieves guild, but smugglers of some kind. I think.
Please just be DVDs.
And pirates.
The adventures of the mighty nine.
The torrent of the treasure.
The files must flow.
Big data.
And he goes, I will tell you more tomorrow. But keep an eye on them. Don't get caught. don't let them see you. And I would like at least 2 of you in the area at all times.
He said I would
Just
like
in
what?
case. I would like at least 2 of you in proximity at all times. Just in case.
To you and not in the tunnels, right?
Tomorrow is the tunnel's turn check.
He means tonight. He wants people to guard him while he sleeps.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. I
And
see.
for the rest of the day, pretty much. And he wants it to be you guys.
I
Aw.
can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, consider that you have Tamash and Durm as 2 of the other guards. So,
I do not mean to cry, Jambis. And I hope this is not much, but I must, before I can be comfortable, can I have your word that this is not harming innocence?
he sort of looks at you. And, sorry, I knew it was going to happen. He looks at you and sneezes. Ruining the seriousness of the moment. And sort of nods slowly. I respect that about you, Cyrenixia. While it is never my intention to harm innocence, I am not sure how dangerous the path I have set upon is. Rest assured that I will do my best to protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is part of why I hired you.
Okay.
He seems great.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not
What
confident.
a nice gnome.
Halfling.
But I am, to a degree, depending upon the fact that you will assist in the protection of innocence.
It reassures me to hear this, and I hope my trust in you will not be misplaced. Although it would be a great comfort if at any time you feel trouble informing me of more of what I am being involved in.
We will see how tomorrow goes. Okay, so that's sort of a clear dismissal, and
Apart from, I'm staying to keep watch.
right. But it's just sort of like this is the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And go ahead. Did anyone have anything they wanted to do or say?
Can I check out his leg? He said he was limping.
As he walks away, it seems to have gone down.
There's not like drops of blood following him, is there?
No. He does sort of rub it as he walked away. Maybe he's a what?
A mule.
I don't get it. But it's okay.
It's a person who hides drugs in their own body to smuggle them.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I like now that he said it, I was like, oh yeah, I know that word. I know how that works. It's just I was trying to figure out how that was magical enough to work because I was stuck in D&D.
Yep.
He turns into a mule. Possible.
You now
And
understand my confusion.
Still continues to shove the drugs up his ass.
That's why he needs us.
Yep.
Mules are skittish. Would one of you like to come with me when I go and inquire about our erstwhile stalker?
I can go with you if you want.
Sure. We will need to be very quiet and very sneaky.
I can be very quiet.
Good.
I guess I'll stay here.
I'm
You are where?
I'm guarding him. So.
Okay, and so Oranthan's here next year guarding, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you're there, Jambis sort of goes into his own room and shuts the door, and you're not trying necessarily to listen very closely, I assume, but you sort of hear the sounds of him washing his face and water flowing, and then the sound of boots hitting the floor as he takes them off. And the house is pretty quiet except for people working and watering plants and just regular guard stuff. Tamash sort of walks past and nods to Orentha, and then Derm walks past and kind of just goes past Orentha. Like, strangely enough, just doesn't even notice she's there. They're not coming by at the same time, but he just seems preoccupied and kind of worried. And the feeling in the house is similar to what it was this morning, but you don't know what you did today and what that means. And then Jamra and Agate, as you're walking back, or are you walking back, or are you just looking through the eyes of your hawk right now?
My plan was to wait until nightfall.
Okay.
And when the hawk returns, has the guy left the house?
The hawk does not see anyone that matched what was going in and coming out.
Okay.
Some people have left the establishment. But
okay. It looks like it's an establishment as opposed to like
the building.
Okay.
Like a couple of people have
left
left
it. Does it look residential, or does it look like a store, or is it?
There's not quite enough traffic for it to be a popular store. If the hawk wanted to move around, it might be able to notice more.
Yeah, I was just seeing if there was like a sign or something outside.
Okay. It's sort of written on the wall. Not very well or calligraphied, but it's kind of a shop and kind of a bar and kind of a residential area. In some ways, like it's sort of Pama's place, and people go in and come out, and some of them come out slightly more tipsy, but then there's also women with young children going in that clearly aren't going in to partake.
So it's like a bodega community center kind of.
Yeah.
It's not just the men, but the women and children too.
Everyone's going to the safe house.
You know, someone's running something out of an apartment.
Okay. Agatha, can you disguise someone?
Let me think about that. Sheet. I think I can with one of my feet. Hang on.
Oh, do you have mask
Oh
of many
yes, your
faces?
mask. Yes.
Yeah.
You can cast it, but well, okay, that is good. You can.
I cannot look like me. I can also make an unseen servant to go walk around and grab things and stuff like that if we need.
Okay.
Okay, I have Mask of Many Faces. I can disguise myself at will. I can't disguise someone else.
Okay. Does anyone have a disguise kit? I'll just go and ask around all of us.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Are there any of the guards who are good at disguising?
It seems like they're a lot more
They're what?
basic. They don't. There's one person that seems to be slightly more into things like stage makeup, but it's not like
Okay.
disguises
All-
and hair and stuff.
I don't need like a. I just need to look as if I. Like, if he can just make it so that my skin is a little bit lighter, so that I look like, say, a mortal with dark skin, as opposed to the genasi I am. That's
Okay.
all I'm really looking for.
Um.
Because I'm gonna wear a mask.
Okay. So you'd basically kind of want it on your hands.
Hands and face. Because under the mask. Because masks come off sometimes.
Okay. Um.
We can put some flour on your face. Maybe that would help.
It might, but
I have some makeup.
Yeah. The guy that
Arenta, I am
has.
surprised at you.
It's always handy to have a mirror on you.
I'm sure. Well, I would appreciate any help you can give.
I will apply makeup on Jamra.
Does Umra get longer eyelashes?
No, it's more of a contour.
Okay. Okay. Just
Jamara's
checking.
eyelashes are already beautifully long and slow.
My dad
I
used to
think
have really
Jamara.
long eyelashes, and they'd get curled in on each other.
Oh my god.
I think that Jamar probably wore makeup when he was younger, or when he was in the City of Brass.
Kohl,
What?
like just the kohl.
Probably lots of different kinds. I don't know the extent of it. I haven't really. I don't know a ton about their culture.
Okay.
I suspect they would not have all the same hang-ups as mortals.
Well, just because in Nepal and India and other hot countries, they would just line with coal to protect from sun blindness, pretty much.
Yes, although they are immune
Especially
to
with
fire,
kids.
so I don't think that they actually like
That's fair.
feel it as deep. But maybe they do.
But is it
I don't know. It's something to
radiant
think about.
damage? All right. So you look slightly paler, Jamra. So next, it seems as if Jambis has just gone to bed. You start hearing snoring.
Okay.
Actually, Orentha would notice that. Cyrenexia probably wouldn't.
I'm out with Agate and Jamra.
Oh, you went out with them, and then is it Trindak that's staying behind?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
So you seem to have better perception anyway, but you guys would probably end up noticing the snoring. It's not horribly loud, but it's audible.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like get balaclavas for us and have us not wear our normal clothes.
I'm just going to disguise self into like a halfling man, but
Okay.
one that doesn't look like our boss.
That's all right then.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm just gonna put my hood up. I'm not gonna wear a balaclava.
You really should wear a mask.
What are we doing?
We are going to meet someone who tried to stalk us earlier. And we are going to find out what he knows.
Okay.
it's a Halloween.
So what?
Halloween party.
Welcome.
And once it gets late, we'll head out.
Okay.
We'll use the bird to scout and make sure that we're not like running into a bunch of people. And when we arrive at the location, I'll have the hawk sort of check in any of the windows that are open and see if they can find our target.
Okay. There's not really a windowsill per se that it could land on. So it would have to be hovering awkwardly, and I'm not even sure if hawks can do that. But it would be pretty noticeable if it was to try.
I would just have them sort of like fly by a couple times, see
Okay.
look through the open windows as it's doing it.
Looking through the open windows sort of shows the mom that you saw earlier going in with her 2 kids, making dinner and feeding them. It seems like the kids are just sort of tired and like eating, and she seems very tired too, but sort of as it's sort of right at the end as the hawk flies by the first time, and by the time it's flown by a couple more times, the kids have finished their food and are actually getting into one big bed that is closer to a pallet on the floor. But
so he doesn't see through any of the windows.
that is one of the windows that he sees through. Another one
That's the only one
is empty. Yeah.
Oh, how close are we to the house now?
That depends on you.
Yeah, we can be as close as we want.
You can always break in.
We can,
I mean,
we just don't know which room
Send
to break
scouts
into.
in. I don't think anyone would notice them.
That is true. That is true. We should do that.
By the house, I'm going to, like, through the front door or in one of the windows that your hawk saw.
Maybe a window that shows no one inside.
Well, is it small enough to like get under the average door? Or is it going to be
Chipmunks are
trapped in the
really
bedroom that it gets
Oh, it'll be small enough to get under the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chipmunks are very squishy. They're liquid.
All rodents can basically get under anything their skull can fit under, because that's the biggest part of their body. So anything else they can completely compress.
Cool.
Nice. I subscribe to rodent facts.
I mean, it's the same thing with cats, and with humans it's our shoulders, but otherwise.
I subscribe to human facts.
Like if you can get your shoulders through, you can pretty much get out the rest of your body through. But okay, so you're sending Jasper in?
But no, so Jamra's sending his hawk to look for an empty room, and then I'm sending Jasper into that room.
Okay.
For up.
Could even. Oh yeah, definitely.
I didn't hear
Hawk
about
right in.
anything after Jasper into the room. I didn't hear.
The hawk can carry Jasper.
Okay.
What?
I just feel bad for if this chipmunk was alive.
He's undead.
I know.
I don't know what the status of the livelihood of this chipmunk is. Is it?
Apparently it's undead. According to my Detect Good and Evil, it's undead.
Which makes sense. I love our friendly neighborhood necromancer. And it makes sense that that's all of her like healing is through drinking blood and stuff. She's totally a necromancer in hiding. And I want to learn her powers.
Oh no, the person.
Butter. A very friendly giant squirrel. And she's based off the hotel keeper in Zumbinis.
Based off of what?
Did you ever play Zumbinis?
What? Play what?
Ever play what?
Okay, here.
You're cutting out so much.
Yeah, your audio is something.
Well, At least I sound good on the recording.
Zoombinis.
Yeah,
Oh.
it
Oh
was.
yes, I don't remember it though.
Yeah. So there's a character in there that's a giant squirrel. All right, so the hawk carries. I simultaneously had Chillax, Carlton, and Jasper combine in my brain,
Ow.
and none of them came out. Yeah, that was terrifying. So the hawk takes Jasper and carries him over to the window, and Jasper, it's open just a crack, and Jasper can slide in through the shutters.
I guess at this point, so Orentha has two people who are in their familiars right now. So
I'm keeping watch
Hmm.
to see if anyone comes out of the building looking shifty, if anyone's watching us,
unaware folks, so it's on you.
trying to
Okay.
make us look normal. Wearing a balaclava.
I have a hood up
So okay.
and the ball.
So as Jasper comes in, it's not a big room. It's slightly smaller than the room that you have at Jambis's place. It is dirt floor, not much furniture. There's like one chair and another pallet on the floor. And the door is rough hewn. No, that's wrong. It is, the door inside is really just a curtain covering the entrance, which isn't even that high quality.
Is this on like the second floor of this building, or this is the ground floor?
This is the ground floor.
Okay. I mean, my hamster body or hamster. I'm looking around. Is there anyone in this room? Do I see anything on the floor?
Do you mean after going through the curtain or before?
So I guess I go into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Curtain. I guess I'm like peeking out from the curtain.
Okay. There's more light on the other side. There seems to be a sort of oil lamp. There, it's pretty interesting. It's clay and just gives off a light, dim light. And there's one person there talking. There's one man there talking to a woman, and they both have little clay mugs that are relatively ornate. It's not that they remind you of the ones at home, but they are like, someone put some care into them. And they're pretty much the only thing in this room that has color. And what did you say? Sorry.
Say like, can I him if he's the same guy from earlier?
No, but you do notice on the back of the woman's chair some black robes.
Like, as in she's wearing black robes?
As in what? Black robes? Sorry.
As in the woman's wearing black robes? Or?
As in, there are black robes on the back of her chair, but she is not wearing them, nor is he.
Like black robes, like the kind that our opposites are wearing.
Okay. I'm going to...
So, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you mean that she can't tell if it is the same person because she's not sure, or do you mean that it's not the same person?
Well, everyone was wearing veils before.
No. I mean the people that, because we're looking for the guy that ran back here. So that one.
But
that guy.
everyone was wearing
veils.
Oh, the man who ran back to the house was wearing a veil?
Yeah, like they you couldn't see their faces.
So we could tell, though, when they were on the streets that they were then the same people who we had just been meeting with.
Yes.
That was not clear
I'm
when we were
sorry.
being followed. Okay. Well, shit, we don't know then.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to briefly leave Jasper's consciousness and relay that to Ortha. What should we do? I mean, they just appear to be talking. There's only 2 people, so that's not too bad.
Did you hear their talking though?
No, I can go check. So I'm gonna go back and scuttle down the side of the curtain and like just try to like get close enough that I can hear.
Okay. And you can hear through Jasper the man sort of give a heavy sigh, and he says, I don't know what to do anymore.
Don't do anymore?
Yeah, he says, I don't know what to do anymore. And she says, well, it's simple. We have to stop that shipment. And that's where we will pick up.
Yeah!
Woo!
Next time we're gonna fuck him up.
All right.
Assuming they're, yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go to bed so I don't die.
Okay.
Me too.
I tried to like roughly calculate it. So I think
No, you did good.
it is good. I will calculate XP when I am capable of doing math while correctly adding 2 plus 2.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Jack will talk about the things that you found out during downtime, and Derek, we will just talk. And part of it can be about D&D. But